Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like an imposter in your own life? Like no matter how hard you try, some invisible voice inside keeps whispering, "You're not good enough. You're not alone." That voice has lived in all of us, silent, subtle, and sabotaging. But what if I told you that self-doubt isn't your enemy? It's your misunderstood protector, and once you learn to hear it, you can finally set yourself free. This is not just a motivational video. This is the truth about the quiet war inside your mind and how you finally win it. There comes a time in life when you stop and realize you've been moving, working, surviving, but you haven't truly felt yourself in a long time. You've been pushing through the days, getting things done, showing up for others, but somewhere along the way, you lost the connection to your own heart. Maybe it was gradual. Maybe it happened during a crisis. Maybe it was a silent drift. No one noticed, not even you. Until now, you try to remember the last time you felt light, the last time you laughed without tension in your chest. But all you can find is a sense of numbness or exhaustion. And if you're honest, you don't even know what you need anymore. You just know something is off. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're just tired of carrying so much for so long. This is what healing really looks like. It's not always beautiful. It's not just self-care routines or yoga mats or journal prompts. Healing, in its rawest form, is remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. It's sitting with pain instead of avoiding it. It's grieving losses you never had time to acknowledge. It's learning to say no without guilt. It's letting go of people who don't see you, even if you still care about them. It's not an event. It's a slow, private process, and you don't have to rush it. The first step in returning to yourself is to stop fighting your feelings. So many of us are taught to numb or suppress what hurts. We're told to be positive, to keep moving, to distract ourselves. But healing doesn't happen by pushing pain away. It begins by making space for it. Sit with your emotions, ask yourself, what am I really feeling? Sadness, grief, anger, loneliness? Allow those feelings to exist without judgment. You are not weak for having them. You are human. The second step is to listen to your body. Trauma, stress, and burnout don't just live in your thoughts. They live in your body. The tight chest, the clenched jaw, the restless sleep. Your body is trying to talk to you. It's saying, please slow down. Maybe that means taking real rest. Maybe it means stepping outside, feeling the sun, stretching, sleeping, or just breathing deeply for the first time in days. Your body is not your enemy. It's your companion. Learn to treat it with softness. Next, begin to question the stories you tell yourself. Somewhere along the way, you may have picked up beliefs like, I'm not enough, or I have to be strong all the time, or I don't deserve love until I'm fixed. These stories feel real because you've repeated them silently for years, but they are not the truth. Healing means challenging those beliefs. It means reminding yourself, I am allowed to be a work in progress. I am allowed to take up space. I do not need to be perfect to be loved. Another step on this journey is reclaiming your boundaries. If you've been a people pleaser, a caretaker, or someone who constantly puts others first, you've likely abandoned your own limits many times. And every time you do that, you drift further from yourself. Start small. Say no when something doesn't feel right. Leave conversations that drain you. Prioritize your peace over pleasing others. Your worth is not tied to how much you give or sacrifice. You are allowed to protect your energy. It's also important to find quiet again. In a world that's always loud, full of opinions, comparisons, and endless distractions, we forget what our own voice sounds like. Try unplugging, not forever, but for moments. Sit in stillness, ask yourself questions, write down thoughts, reflect. When you become quiet, your inner voice becomes clearer, and in that stillness, you begin to hear the truth. You were never lost. You were only buried beneath expectations and survival. And maybe the most important part of this journey, offer yourself grace. You're not going to heal perfectly. Some days you'll feel strong and hopeful. Other days you'll feel like you're back at the beginning. That's okay. Progress is not a straight line. The fact that you're even aware, even trying, that means something. Forgive yourself for the years you spent in survival mode. You did what you had to do. Now, you get to choose something new. Sometimes we wait for someone else to save us. But healing doesn't arrive in the form of a person or a perfect moment. Healing begins the day you decide to come home to yourself. Slowly, gently, without needing to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need to be willing to keep showing up. Messy, real, and open to rediscovering who you are underneath the pain. And here's the truth no one tells you. You will not return to the same version of yourself you once were. You will find someone new, someone softer, someone wiser, someone who knows how to hold space for pain and still choose peace. That person is you, and they are waiting to meet you on the other side of healing. Self-doubt isn't just about lacking confidence. It's about the silent conversations you have with yourself when no one is watching. It's about the way you hesitate before speaking, the way you downplay your achievements, and the way you question whether you're good enough even after you've worked incredibly hard. One of the core reasons people struggle with self-doubt is because they've tied their worth to perfection. Somewhere along the line, we learned that unless we're doing it flawlessly, it doesn't count. But perfection is not the goal. Progress is. Growth doesn't come from never failing. It comes from learning through failure. It comes from falling down and deciding to stand again. So how do you overcome self-doubt when it's deeply embedded in your identity? The first step is self-awareness. You need to recognize when you're slipping into that pattern. Start noticing the internal dialogue. Are you always preparing for the worst? Are you assuming that others think less of you? Write those thoughts down. Call them out. Because once you make the unconscious conscious, you can begin to change it. Next comes self-compassion. This is one of the most underestimated forms of inner strength. You're not supposed to bully yourself into becoming better. You grow faster and stronger when you're kind to yourself during the process. Speak to yourself the way you'd speak to someone you love. That inner voice you carry all day. Make sure it's a coach, not a critic. Comparison is another root cause of doubt. We scroll through curated highlight reels of other people's lives and wonder why we're not further ahead. But you need to understand something. People rarely post their insecurities, their sleepless nights, their failed attempts. So you're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's spotlight. That's never going to be fair. Your journey is valid, even if it's messy. Let's talk about belief systems for a second. Self-doubt isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's often built on old beliefs you've never questioned. Maybe you were told you weren't smart enough, or that your dreams were unrealistic, or that you were too sensitive, too emotional, too quiet, too much. And without realizing it, you absorb those labels as truth. But guess what? You can unlearn them. You can rewrite the narrative. And that begins with choosing what you believe about yourself now. One powerful way to challenge doubt is to take intentional action. Even small steps build confidence. If you keep waiting to feel ready, you'll be stuck forever. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite the fear. Do one thing each day that scares you a little. Show up before you feel ready. Start before you have it all figured out. Also, don't underestimate the impact of your environment. Who are you surrounded by? Are you constantly around people who criticize, judge, or minimize your efforts? If yes, that doubt will keep growing. You need to protect your mental space. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who encourage you even when you don't see your own potential. Now, here's something crucial. Learn to celebrate small wins. Most people wait until something big happens to feel proud. But every time you challenge your doubt and act anyway, that's a win. Every time you speak up, try again, or stay consistent, that matters. Recognize those moments. Give yourself credit. Confidence grows through acknowledgement. Another powerful habit is visualization. Your brain doesn't fully distinguish between what you imagine and what you experience. So if you keep visualizing yourself failing, your body and emotions will respond as if it's real. But if you close your eyes and see yourself succeeding, speaking clearly, standing strong, doing the thing with calm and clarity, you are training your mind to believe in a new reality. Practice it every day. Lastly, remind yourself, You don't have to get rid of self-doubt completely to succeed. Most confident people still have moments of fear and hesitation. They've just learned not to let those thoughts control them. Self-doubt might whisper, but you don't have to listen. Let this be your mindset going forward. I can feel uncertain and still take action. I can be scared and still show up. I can doubt and still rise. Because strength isn't about never questioning yourself. It's about choosing to keep going anyway.